of my lives, and this is actually the first one I've ever done on my own, and yeah, hopefully it'll go to plan. I can see this quite a few of you already chatting in, and I'm hoping that if it all goes to plan, I can see all the chat that's coming down. So I'll just say hello to a few people, like hello, Chris, Rob, Pam. Who else can I see? There's so many of you popping in. Now, I'm just going to warn you, like, I'll try and answer as many questions, and anyone who makes a comment, I'll try my best to, but you know what it's like, and I natter on, and you know that I'll try my best to interact with you all. So yeah, so the plan is I'm going to talk about what happened on my allotment last year. It already feels weird to say last year, it's gone so quick. And also, hey Lisa, yeah, sound good. New microphone, new headphones, but yeah, it's going well. So yeah, at the start of the year, obviously it was a gamble because I took over my plot, the Grapevine Garden, and I just, you don't know, because it was a new growing space. I moved from my plot that I already was so comfortable with, and I knew everything about where everything I could plan, if there was problems with the soil. And this one was just a gamble, and I started the channel on a plot where I had no experience about this growing space, and luckily I've learned some things that I can pass on for this year. But yeah, there are some experience that I've learned, and there are things that I'm gonna have to avoid this year. Like, I have found that there are issues with club root in one part of my plot, and I'm hoping that there's nowhere else, so I will have to move a few things around. But there is plans for that area as well, which I'll show you when we go through the chat. So yeah, what a crazy year last year was, and I have to thank every single person who liked, subscribed, viewed my channel, and yeah, like, it's grown a little bit faster than I thought it would, but I'm still hoping that it'll grow and grow and grow. But yeah, I'm really grateful. And so hello Jane, hello Lisa, Cheryl, hi Cheryl, Ali, lovely to see you. Growing Plotty, hello. Jim Grant, I'm trying to say everyone, so if I don't, Addie's Veg Garden, Samantha Reeves. Hello, Allotment Newbie, thanks for coming on. Pam Clark, Blue South Alliance, hiya. Yeah, God, if I haven't said your name, it's because it's rolling up, and I expected this, but yeah. So hi Tony, hi Di, hi Amelia. So yeah, so chat amongst yourself as well, because I'll natter on. So first of all, like the year started off, and I thought, can I do this? Can I fit in? Not only did I decide to do my degree in nursing. On top of that, I started the channel, and it got busier and busier than I thought it would. Like, I don't understand why everyone watches, but thank you for watching anyway, and it will continue. And also, I want to apologize, for like the lack of videos the last couple of weeks, but it's been Christmas, and the weather's has been absolutely diabolical. And I did plan a video out for Christmas Eve, and I filmed for hours and hours in the rain for the viewers to watch, and it was such a nice video as well. And I was so looking forward to editing it and putting it out. And then I got it home and all the files were corrupted, so I was like, it annoyed me a little bit, because I spent so pretty long in that rain filming and harvesting the Christmas harvest. And it was a really nice video. But I promise there's a video coming out on Sunday, so I promise you there'll be a video out on Sunday, 7 p.m. Hi, Growing Plotty. Danny, you've inspired me to finally get on YouTube. Yes, do it, along with some other lovely people, and so enjoying your progress on both plots. Okay, that's absolutely fantastic. So I love that. I actually like people to contact me on Instagram, and if you have if you want any advice on how to start a channel up and stuff, honestly, Growing Plotty, don't be afraid to contact me on Instagram, and I'll set you up. And because I remember when I first started, God, I didn't have a clue. I was like, what camera do I get? What, how do I edit? How do I start the channel? There's so much. Like, there's so much in the background of the videos that come out that people really don't know about, and it's a lot. Why are you sowing first this year, Danny, mate? Hi, Graham. Hi, Paul. Hi, Sandra. So the first thing I am growing actually is I normally do it Boxing Day, but like I said, I've been so busy. I hosted a lot of Christmas this year for the family, and so I had to prioritize that. But yeah, so my onions are going in after this show. I'm finishing them. So this year I'm sowing onion tough ball. Let's see if we can get that up. I'm doing a red one. So I've not seen this one. So this is a Red Baron, which I have, but I didn't know that you could. There's a globe one, Red Baron, and obviously Bedfordshire Champion. Now I are doing a few other ones as well, but I'm sticking to these because I put so many overwintering onions because I had 2 plots now, and I need to get into that idea of having double the space because I got so used to thinking, okay, I need to grow that amount for this beds, and things need to move up to this. So that plot's going to become more of a perennial plot. So I'm going to be putting asparagus up there, all my fruit bushes. There's a new tree up there which has got a beautiful bright red inside. So if you haven't seen that, go take a look at my channel. Mornings at the allotment. Oh, lovely to see you back, Rebecca. So thank you so much for coming on, and I hope you bring out some videos soon. Yeah, oh, Red Baron, love them. Yeah, pintail paddocks, thank you. Yeah, so I've always done sets, and I tried doing onions by seed last year, and I failed. I had about, out of 150 onion seedlings I think I was left with about 10 or 20 that I put in, and I did have onions from them, but I had like an issue. I think it was because I had a potted plant or something in the house that had some like gnats and stuff. I don't know, but it really damaged my onion seedlings, and they just all flopped over. And I've learned a lot from it as well. I think the soil was damp and it dampened off, and there was loads of things. So, are you going to seed asparagus or use a crown? So that was from. Hold on. Okay, that was from the Forget Me Not Allotment. So my plot that I moved from, I put seed in, and when I moved, I actually dug some up and put them onto my plot. So they're still going, which are down the bottom. I'm going to leave them, but I've ordered new crowns that will go in, and they're 3 years old. So I'll still leave them for the 4th. So they're well matured, but I'll plant them in one of the beds. But if you want to grow them from seed, you're going to be waiting about 5 years or so before you can even harvest anything from them at all. So invest in the crowns, I'd say, and yeah, and I've got a variety that I can have through the season. I actually am not a massive asparagus lover, but I do like the fact that it's one of the first things that come out on the plot in the harvest with spring cabbage, and it is nutrient dense, and I do like them, but they're not like my favorite thing. Rebecca, I promise to start filming again soon, Danny. Yes, honestly, you need to sort that out and get. We are missing you. Let me check who else is going on. So I'm trying to keep up with the chat, and I sowed Nick the gardener. I sowed Red Baron today, Danny, and I staked them, Danny. So Nick keeps telling me to stake this apple tree, and it is staked. You'll see it on my next video because I've actually got those clips that I'm going to add on. So if you've got seeds of Ali, I've actually had to buy a new seed box, which is down here. I don't need to see it. And pretty much that's most of Ali's seeds that she sent me from Canada. I had to buy a box just for Ali's seeds, and there are a few other things in there as well. Audrey also sent me some, so she's got some here, and she sent me these, which came, and I know Jane Kelly's going to want to steal some of these off me because she does love pink on her plot. So these are called Amaranth Pink Beauty. So I just like the color of them, and there's also the Mizuna Ben Housie, Benny Housie, I think. And also another thing that I'll be sowing at the early spring is my Brussels sprouts. And I've had hit and miss like everyone else with Brussels sprouts. That heat did not, help anything. But I've taken Charles Dowden's recommendation, and he recommended these ones. Brendan F1. I did ask him, and he swears by these ones. So I'm going to do these. Brendan F1. So I'm knocking back all the other sprouts that I've done. And I did do Red Bull. They come out okay. And I will suggest if you are going to sow Brussels sprouts, and do the Red Bulls, because they are very small red sprouts. They are very sweet though. And I did really like them, but they're not huge. And also from Audrey, I'm going to be sowing some tomatoes soon. And this one's, I know on a live chat, she discussed these, and she sent them to me, orange accordion. I could probably do 3 or 4 lives of Ali's seeds, and she sends me so many. Question for new viewers. Danny, how did you get into gardening and why? I was really young, like, and my grandfather was, oh, he was an amazing gardener. He had prize winning roses, and his back garden was on top of, was next to an allotment, so he could go through the back gate and fall into the allotment. And I wish I had more of a passion of it back then to learn more from him. But I'm sure he's really proud of it now. You know, if he's looking down on me, he'd be really happy that I'm growing my own food and, you know, flowers. But yeah, he started off because he was always out there, and um yeah, it was just, it's always been something that's been in my family of growing stuff. But I always remember having like the Gardener's World magazines, and I had a border out the front of my house that was just allocated for me. And then I stopped, and then I moved to where I am now because it's closer to the hospitals. And I wanted to grow runner beans, and I knew I couldn't grow them in my garden, which weirdly I do now, a little bit. But I wanted to have space for runner beans, and I applied for a plot, and it was a few months I had to keep nagging, and I finally got a plot. And yeah, I went over there, and I was overwhelmed by the half plot. I thought, oh, you know, I was expecting a tiny little square, you know, small patch, and soon you grow out of that space. So if you've got a plot and you're thinking this is too much and you've just started, I promise you within a year you'll be like, I wish I had 2 plots. And that's where I am now. You know, I'm at 2 plots now. I don't think I'm going to go to 3, but the second plot, there's so much planned. Like, it's already January, and I've got to get into gear because February, March, I know Tony from Simplified Gardening, he's coming over, and we're recovering the polytunnel and putting, I've got a staging to go in, new doors, new beds got to go in. There's so much to do on that polytunnel. But um, so Pauline Morris said, onion seeds. I keep getting distracted by the chat. Or onion seeds are sowed on Boxing Day have germinated. Yeah, I seen the allotment newbie. She posted on her Instagram as well today that she sowed as well on Boxing Day, and she did an experiment of both in the propagator, one in a plastic bag and one not in a plastic bag, and the one in the plastic bag germinated already. So I'm going to take her little tip and I'm going to try that. But I'm going to start in the propagator, and that's the only time this year I'm going to switch my propagator on. And I can't believe it, because I spent a painful amount on this huge Vitapod system. And because of the financial climate and trying to be sensible, I'm decided that I'm going to go like the Malcolm Kingswell route. And, you know, I spoke to him about it, and he germinated all in his polytunnel. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start them off indoors, the onions. As soon as they pop the heads and they have the cruck, which means that the onion seed goes up and then tips over, I'll take them out of the propagator or out of the house, straight into the greenhouse or the polytunnel, whichever's ready first. And I'm going to start with my seeds there. My tomatoes, that's why I'm leaving it. I normally sow them really early as well. I'm holding back. My chilies, I am starting this week as well. But yeah, you need to get things done now before it snowballs. And before long, February, March, the intenseness, like, I'm not moaning about having a channel, but every YouTuber will understand what it's like when you have to try and, not only are you gardening, you're planning the channel, you're planning all your seeds and making sure that they're all germinating okay. There's so much to do, and I'm so excited to show you what I've got planned for this year. And yeah, it's just like, you know, that like when you start off an allotment, God, it's so much work to do, but it's so worth it. And my plot, I'm just trying to find something now. Like, my plot was an absolute, I saw only like a year or, 14 months ago, and the only thing on that plot now there's to the left, there's 2 pear trees, and you can't see them because they're just wrapped in bindweed and um the grapevine, which is how the channel goes name. And at the bottom, you see all the stingy nettles and the raspberry canes, and they've all been taken out now. And the only thing standing now is that little shed down the bottom, which doesn't look like that now. It looks more like that shed. And yeah, but it happens. It changes and it gets better. And look at it now. It was an absolute jungle of food, and I absolutely loved growing in my plot. Last year it was amazing, and I couldn't have asked for a better season for learning. And the plot is beautiful. I'm so gifted by that plot. The soil is amazing, but we also had all that rain at the start of the seasons, and that held us back in the cold, and then we had that drought, and then the heat that was holding us for ransom for so long. You just could not keep that soil dry enough. And my beds are mulched, but I've learned again to mulch even more. And yeah, there's loads to do. But I will say one of the biggest successes that I had this year, like last year, was my peppers because of that. So I can't really moan about all that heat, because it did benefit some things. And that's the thing about starting a plot or a garden, or just being a gardener in general, is you cannot plan as much. And I know this time of year everyone will be showing you how to get their planners in place, and I'd like to say that for me they work 100%, but I don't see it working as much for me, because I always have to ride every wave that hits me. And you can plan everything to the T, but then once something changes, you have to adapt that planner. And I'd be changing that planner 50 times. And I work in a hospital, which I have to do that anyway, so I'm used to it. So it's not. But if you're thinking about, oh yeah, I'll put everything in January and February and March and April, and that's how it work. And the realistic part about it is that you will always have things that you should have sowed in February that you'll do at the start or end of March, and there'll always be something that you're trying to catch up on, unless you're so organized. But yeah, it's worth it in the end, I'm sure. But there's always things, if you don't sow, you can sow later on, or the next year. Right. Hi, Steve. Oh, hi, Malcolm Kingswell. Actually, lovely to see you on the channel. So yeah, I'm popping up Malcolm's. I keep saying, and I know Malcolm's waiting eagerly for this bark, but the rain is really batting me, and my shifts have been crazy in work. It's like winter in a hospital, and I'm holding back to try and take that bark up the mount because it's so wet. And yeah, I'm hoping for a good couple of days now, and then there'll be a massive load of bark being sent up to Malcolm's, so we can finally finish off, Malk's design, because it's looking fantastic. And it's strange how he's, I always joke and say, like, he's kind of like the godfather of this channel, because he was the person who said, when I visited him, all over because of Instagram, and then he was like, you should start a channel, and I was like, no, and I just, I kind of did. And you start off with your mobile phone, just filming a little bit on the little apps, and then it just progresses, and that you want to get better, and you get better cameras, better sound. And I am now with my headphones and my microphone, and I never thought I'd be doing a live chat on my channel at all. And yeah, so Malcolm kind of started that, so I will be visiting soon once I get a bit of sun. I've got a week booked off coming up, which you'll probably see me visiting Malcolm, and we can finish off those jobs. And it's funny how he's now downsizing and I've expanded. So yeah, it's fine. But I'll show you now what the plot is looking like so far. So the grapevine is just like a complete, and at a not bog, but I'm glad I barked those paths about a month ago before all this rain, because I'd be covered in it now. But the other plot is looking absolutely amazing now. Like, the paths are out. This is the structure I'm going on the left. There is a rhubarb in, which I'm going to dig at, and I'm going to move. And to the right of that path on the angle, there's going to be loads of flowers and tulips in there, which they have been put in. So this picture's about a week before I've updated. And at the back, all the fruit trees and bushes are coming in. And then the shed, as you can see, like I've already started on that at the front, and the windows are in now, and I've got my little lantern up, and there's going to be a new roof on that, and the cladding on the front once I get some good weather. But you all know, if you've seen my channel, that I've been enjoying some food cooked in the shed already, and that's what that plot is for. And I'm glad now that I can bounce back and forth plots and show you things. And I'm going to grow. I normally compartment everything, and I have one bed for leeks, one bed for onions. And I've learned from viewers and people with Instagram and on the plots as well. Like Cheryl, she actually is on my plot and she's a viewer as well, and a friend. And she grew this. I wish I had a picture of it to show you. And she grew everything. So, the permaculture that she had, and it was all mixed in together. And if you've seen one of my videos in the summer, I was looking after a plot for a few days while she went away, and it was just like it was the best harvest of things. I was so proud to see that this tiny little plot that she took over was full of food and flowers all intermingled together, and they were working in harmony. And I thought, am I doing this wrong? Am I thinking in Instagram form, where I think that looks really lovely there, all in one row, everything's in a row. And I do like that. I do like everything in rows and everything quite neat, but it's not realistic to grow like that all the time. And I've decided that I'm going to split things as well. So that's why my garlic is some down the one plot, some up the other, because if something happens to my garlic, which it did the year before, this was the only, I took my garlic out and this is what I saved. And it was disheartening because I grew so much of it. So I've split it up, moved it from where it was, and I'm hoping for an amazing harvest, because I love garlic, and I'm growing more things that I'm definitely going to eat, and garlic, onions, and things like that. And my potatoes, I'm still going to grow in buckets, but I've decided I'm going to grow some back in the soil in one of the beds, and there's a reason why that I'll talk about in a future video. Yeah, and this time of year, I'm already planning, and yeah, it's exciting. But if I've missed the chat now, let's have a look. Yeah, so there's so much planned, and I'm so glad. Thank you so much for everyone who is watching. And yeah, let's have a look. So if I've missed anyone, like I said, I'm really sorry. So Jean said, let me get this message. Now I think I can put it. Yeah, so there you go. Why did I do this earlier on? Hi, Danny. I sowed my onions on Boxing Day. Never done onions from seed before. Only sets. Never been able to grow onions. Just 2 years ago when I got an allotment. 2022 ones were huge and we were amazing. Yeah, I've had amazing onions in the past. And this year, I didn't as much because I didn't grow as many. And I regretted it. I massively regretted it because I thought I'll just do one little bed, and it's never enough. You can never have enough onions. Allotment newbie said the Red Bulls were amazing. Yeah, I grew them as well. They were so sweet, but I think because of loads of the heat, I think they bolted a little bit, or something happened to them. Now, if I'm missing anything, I'm gonna check. So Pam Clark says, so many failures last season, but my fruit did amazingly well. Same, like I wasn't expected to have any plums or apples this year because I transplanted my trees up, and I had so many apples. It was amazing. Right, I'm gonna try and catch up with this chat, because God, I can't believe how many of you are chatting away. And right. So yeah, as you've seen, like Malcolm Kingswell, and I know other people did as well. Those people, Tony C. Smith, that frost that came in and hit our plots, and it knocked out. We were going almost in double figures. But I'm glad, really, that, and I didn't do it for this reason, for frost, really, even though I was warned to by all the plot members, and they were like, you want to take those buckets in, boy? So I did move mine into the polytunnel, and I had a bit of fleece over them, and I haven't checked, but I'm a little bit confident that they might have been protective in the greenhouse, but we shall see. But I have been harvesting other ones that I had, that I brought home and put in the conservatory. So that's a good thing about those buckets, is that you can lift them and move them, and for Christmas dinner and things like that, like I went and harvested, but I took them a few days before we had that frost, brought them home, and I had the buckets, and if anyone pulled me over and I had buckets of soil, they're going to wonder what was going on. Right, I'm going to try and catch up now. So yeah, don't forget to click the little thumb up and like this so that everyone knows that you're enjoying it and it's good for my channel. Hi, Jane. So can we hit the thumbs up for Danny? Yes, thanks, Jane. Who else am I seeing on you? I'm trying. I'm really sorry if I've missed your comment and stuff, and don't think it's personal because I, I knew this was going to happen because I'm seeing so many people. Nick the garden. I've answered that. My onions have been outside and starting at -40. Ali, you're another breed of a gardener, though. You seem to get everything done. I wish I was as good as gardener as you. And that's one thing I've always confessed that I'm not an amazing, gardener yet. Maybe I will be one day, but I just get on with it and I learn on the way. And the things I do know, I'll share. And if I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. But this is what I've learned or I've been told. Lisa Skilton Rowe. Hi, Lisa. So I popped over to Lisa's. She's someone who views the channel in the summer, the early summer, and God, she's got these amazing orchards. And I'm gonna take another visit over. I haven't asked her, but I'm going to in a few months' time, and we can have a little catch up and see. And yeah, if you live around me, ask me. Ask me. I'll pop round. Honestly, I'll come round for cake or anything anyway. And so, when would you start to plant peppers from seed indoors? Now, like I plant now. I did do this. The only thing I did on Boxing Day was, and that was just because I had the pepper that I was cooking with, is I bought a pepper, a long pointed pepper from one of the superstores, and once I cut open the pepper, I put them straight in some soil. And these ones were actually saved from 2021 sweet pointed pepper. And if you've seen my mini polytunnel down the bottom, the first tunnels one, right at the bottom of my grapevine, that was absolutely amazing for peppers. And I grew them for free. I grew out all my peppers in the soil this year, covered over in a mini polytunnel, and you've seen on my channel, they were absolutely amazing. Like the peppers that I had, they were just crazy. They were absolutely crazy, the amount of peppers that I picked. I must have picked off about 6 of those plants that I had for free. Oh God, honestly, no end. It must have been about 50 peppers. They just kept coming and coming. And I kept picking them, thinking, this is it now, this is it. And I've heard so many people say, don't grow them in the ground, don't grow them in the ground. My chilies were amazing in the ground. My peppers were amazing in the ground. Granted, we had that heat, so that really helped me along. And I didn't water those in there. I think I watered twice at the start and once or twice in that heat wave, but every other time I didn't water at all. And yeah, I just think that it was we had that heat and I had to cover it over a little bit. And the good thing about it was, even though you had that mini polytunnel, did I need it closed all the time? Absolutely not. The start, I used that more for the spring when we got the frost and trying to protect things. But after that, that was open all summer. So I wouldn't say it was down to having that mini polytunnel. However, I picked some peppers about 2 weeks ago. The last ones off those plants. But I know I'll go over there now. And if the plants haven't died, there'll be a few on there. Ali said my peppers were crap because it was way too hot. I've learned with Ali's climate that is either too cold or too hot. So Alan Target wrote, will it be okay to sow elephant garlic in the next weeks? I'm in Northern Ireland. I planted my elephant garlic in like October, November time, but this is like the last window. Like if you haven't done it now, this is like your last window because we will still get some frost for the bulb to split, but there's a chance. So I wouldn't say no because we don't know. Like that weather is so unpredictable at the moment. So I would say have a go. If you've got some, what are you going to do? Sink or swim? Chuck it in. What a shame. Ali peppers are lovely. Yeah, I'm way behind on this chat, so I'm trying to. I fail to keep all my plans, but I love looking back in my diary and seeing what things happen, etc. And when it goes, I do the same thing. So I've got a little book. It was here somewhere. I've got a little book, and I put in there like when I sowed, when I put them out. I documented quite a lot of things, and what the weather was like, and and how it was going, and so I know. So yeah, Danny, I have a new 3 meter by 2 meter polytunnel going up on Thursday. I'm so excited. Oh, you'll absolutely love it. So obviously prepare, because those winds will knock that to pieces if you just don't prepare. So my advice there is to think about every single aspects of, how you're going to position it, the wind, everything else that could come into play, and yeah, just anchor it down well. Look at the moon planting. So Jane Kelly does this. She does this moon planting, and I'm not swayed by it. I might try it this year. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, Cheryl, it says you forget me Lotman wrote, great question, Cheryl, but I've missed it somewhere. So if I haven't answered your question, I'm sorry. You right again. Yeah. So I know people do plant for the moon and stuff, but I've never done it. But I always wind Jane up. I wind Jane up a lot anyway. I'm like an annoying little brother, I think. Probably just annoying. Danny Cheryl asks, what medium do you sow seeds in? So depends what it is. So my onions, I will sow it in sifted compost that's not been used. It doesn't have to be, well nutrient dense, because you're just starting the seeds off in it. And I mix it with vermiculite to give it that lightness. And then once it starts growing, there's onion seeds, like I said, to the crook, and they bend over. You can take them out, then gently put them out, and then pot them in. And talking of which, I've been buying loads, I've been telling Jane Kelly I haven't had nothing for Christmas, but she knows I've spent loads. So I bought these this year. So some new trays with the little dividers in. So if you have a look, sorry, I tapped the mic then. There's 12 in each. I think I got about 10 or 12 of these for like a tenner. And then also then it comes with a lid. So these will be for my onion seedlings to start off in. And then in the summer last year, Steve House from Digwell Green Fingers, he put me onto these. So they're not the container-wise ones, but they're quite robust. And the only reason I like these ones because they fit in my trays perfect. I do love container-wise, and you'll see them on my channel all the time. But these ones are 24 in here, and they're really robust. And I'm trying to be really conscious of keep buying throwaway plastics and things, because obviously it's not good. And yeah, I'm gonna have to really skip through. So Rob's allotment said my mate who lives 8,000 miles away is going to recover his polytunnel with polycarbonate. That's an amazing idea. I really want a polycrib. So if a polycrib company wants to send me a lovely polycrib, I would absolutely love that. Thank you so much. So who wrote that? Lived in. I'm losing so many. So Chrissy, thanks. Love the design. So many things I'm changing, and you'll see as well. So if I show you on the picture, I'm going off on blooming topic again, and I knew I was going to do this. I promised this would be an hour live. We're not there yet, though, don't we? So if we go to this picture, so as you can see on this part of the plot, and it doesn't look like that right now, the 3 metal beds, and I've got a fourth, so I bought 4 of them. And if you remember one of my first ever videos, they were double that size, and luckily I could half them. I could, I don't have them as high, I could have them shorter. And there's a 4th one in the shed in the box still. So I'm going to take those up to the other plot and put them there. And this area next to the pond is going to have more of a seating area, like a picnic bench and things, because I envy those gardeners like Jane Kelly. She sits there under that tree and she's showing you what she's got and she's harvested. And I can never do that. I always have to just show you in my little trug. So yeah, I really want a little seating area in both plots. So if you let me try and catch up and see if there's any more questions. Chrissy Brooks said, hi Danny, hope you had a lovely Christmas and New Year. I did. I hope you all did too. And like I said, I am sorry that I didn't get that video out. It was annoying, but that's just the thing. And like, I can't be held ransom by just the channel all times. But I did try. I knew I was going to have some little bit of space at Christmas time where I wasn't going to be planning. And that's the first time in history of my channel where I haven't posted every single week. And it was really weird not to be posting all the time. Quiet Space Road, how is your orchard coming along at the second plot? So this is the time now. I'm waiting for a few days off, which I've got coming up. and I'm going to be digging up some of the plants, some of the bushes, and moving them up. The orchard is well mulched now. I did that, and I added a new tree in, and yeah, it is absolutely looking amazing now, I gotta be honest. Yeah, so exploring nature popped up my I nearly blocked the moderator then on my live. There you go. So yeah, go and take a look at my Facebook page, because I do post on there stuff. Instagram I love as well, so they're both in the description of my channel. So let me try. I'm trying to catch up, I promise. I'm trying to. Right, I think what I'm gonna have to do is, I think I'm just gonna have to go all the way to the. I'm really sorry. So this question is, let's have a look. My broad beans are in root trainers in my polytunnel. They're 6 inches high. Is it safe to plant them out in January? Yeah. Be mindful. Like, they are frost hardy and stuff. I actually hate broad beans. Like, I don't know. They're just not something I really like. But I think, yeah, that, they're frost hardy enough and they'll be okay. But they will sulk a little bit. So I would be careful. If they're in root trainers, you could pot them on a little bit. Now, there's plot holders where I am that they don't do that. They leave them in the pots a bit and then they plant them out, a little bit later on when the soil starts getting a bit warmer. But Chrissy said, don't block me, I'm behaving. Yeah, sorry, Chrissy. Naturally, JB, thank you so much for coming on. So JB said, hope you had a new year and it's off to a great start. Your Christmas dinner harvest looked lovely. Do you know what? My Christmas harvest was lovely. But I'd already harvested half of it anyway, because I was worried about the frost and the rain, and I thought, oh, we can have snow, and yeah, I was happy about it. Yeah, so yeah, it was okay. It was better, there was some things that I should have showed you as well, but obviously I lost that video. But if I've missed your question before, I'm really sorry. So someone said, wait, yeah, wait for the cold spell going to happen very soon. Agreed. I do agree with that. So, so I did actually change the live, because it was supposed to be about 7ish, but I didn't want to conflict with other people. And yeah, so Pintail Paddock wrote, I love the polycrab. Oh yeah, I would love a polycrab. They're like the most robust, hard-shelled polytunnel you could ever have. It was fine. I found Malch channel on your break. Oh, amazing. So yeah, yes, Dan Rabbit, JB moonlighting. No, so JB and Tony C. Smith and the gang on Potty Club will be going live at 7 o'clock. So if you want to, after this one finishes at 7, because I'm only going to stay on for an hour, you can pop over to them. So I don't mind. I've never been one that's been like a conflict with other channels and stuff. Like, you go and subscribe and watch every channel. I don't mind. So yeah, but JB cheeky right in that. We should be on tonight. Yeah, I'll give you that little bit of thing. We should be on tonight. So after this at 7, if you want to go over to the Potty Mouth Club, yeah, go and have a look. Simplified Garden said, mic is sounding great. Yeah, Tony gave me the suggestion to get a new mic, and this one is the Rode, and yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. I did think like, oh, putting headphones on, stuff like that was wasn't where I thought I was going to be going with my channel. But is it worth sowing leeks now? Ooh, no. I don't, and I know a lot of people get a bit annoyed about people who sow leeks now. I would wait a little bit longer. You can, if you want to harvest them early, if you want a really early harvest. I know a lot of people sow leeks now if they're going to be doing the shows, and that's the reason why people might do it. But if you want them for a winter crop, wait, because there's chances obviously of pests and bolting and all that. So unless you are how I could have read this the wrong way. Hi Danny, how far away are you from the bridge? It's not that bad, is it? So I'm guessing you're on about the Prince of Wales Bridge. Used to be the Severn Bridge. I'm about 15 minutes away from the bridge. So Di, if you're close to that bridge and you want to come across, let me know, because I'm going to be doing loads of new things. I want to really get the viewers interacting with my channel, and I'm not going to talk about the plan that I've got for my channel on the lives, because JB's obviously watching, and nah, I don't mind. yeah, I've got a few things planned which I think would be really good for this live. And yeah, my neighbor told me to start leeks on Valentine's Day. I told her I'm not sure I love them that much, but I'll try. Now, I've been told this as well. I have actually been told this to do it on Valentine's Day. Obviously, Welsh people will naturally always love leeks, and yeah, I would say about that time as well. I've actually been told that, and I don't know why it is. Jane's blushing. I don't know, Jane. I'm not sure why you're blushing. Oh, do you think I am? Oh, it's probably these ring lights and everything else. God. Hi, hi, mate. Great talking to you the other day. So yeah. So hi, Ben. Nice to see you on the channel. I'm really shocked how many people are just jumping in. Steve did well. That's what I did, just in a big plastic. Oh, let me show you this. There. So Steve Digwell, that's what I did in a big plastic stacking tub with a sump of gravel, as I didn't want to make holes in it. Yeah, great idea. Have you made a new studio? Let's have a look. Emma from the Forget Me Not allotments. Have you made a new studio there, Danny? No, actually, but however, I am actually in the process of doing something. But this is actually my bedroom. This is where all the action clearly does not happen because I'm doing lives here. This is actually my wardrobe that I made. So it's actually a walk-in closet. And see the little cogs, they move as well. Yeah, I like DIY. If you haven't seen on my channel, I like building things, and also that's my closet. And yeah, the whole house is a big pile of technology, really, which is a bit of a juxtaposition of my allotment as well. Uh, so explore. I don't. Is this true? Is this true? Um. Oh, so whole farm allotment. Going to Hollybobs to Wales next week. I'd love to have a spy on your plot. Whole farm. If you're coming anywhere near South Wales, honestly, give me a message on Instagram. The Grapevine Garden, and don't forget to sub, what's it called? Sub, join, follow, and yeah, and if you're around, honestly, I love a visitor. I honestly love a visitor, so it don't bother me. So anyone's welcome. Question. Oh my god. No, I'm not even going to answer this because I don't know. So, can I grow? Yeah. I don't know. I've never even heard of this. I feel like I should. Right, if someone could tell me, Francis, if you could tell me what that is, um, then I'll let you know, but I don't know. Do you mean expat Brit neighbor? Good advice. Hee hee. Yeah, so yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with this is, but all the ah, I'm reading some of these comments. So I put okay, let's read this one. I put potatoes in pots this spring and they're ready now. It's midsummer and there's still months of growing time left. Should I harvest them now or leave them till I need them? They're 48 pot going. Yeah, so if they're ready, and you could just chop the tops off if they are definitely ready. And I store mine in my greenhouse. That's what I love about it. It's like I grow them in the greenhouse at the start when it's cold, then I move them out. Then once they're finished, I chop the tops. I move them back in the greenhouse because that's the tomato season normally kind of finished. Um, yeah, so yeah, and then I just move them back around. So, but I normally just chop the tops off. I stack them up a little bit. I've got like little pieces of wood about, oh, I don't know, maybe like a foot or so more long, and I put two of those across so that they don't squash everything. Because I've found that that's done it a few times. Um, so yeah, so you can chop them and store them, and they store beautiful. I'm actually changing my potato plans this year. So I last year I grew so many different variations, and I thought about it afterwards and thought I really love Charlotte. So unless International Kidney, I'll probably do those well. The Jersey Royals. Um, so Jane has just said that that word I couldn't say was a green manure. So yeah. I have a further thought of what going on. Good advice, many walks of life. Eh? Let's have a look. I'm clicking the questions out. Are we set to get an Arctic blast this January? God, where did you hear about it? I've heard this as well, and my theory is yes, because we had really hot, dry summer, and I've always thought that once that happens, Facilia, Facilia, Facilia. Okay, thank you, Growing Potty. Yeah, I think that we're going to have a really cold winter. I think March is going to really test us, and February. I think those 2 months is going to really. My prediction is that's why I'm holding back on things. I'm worried that I'm going to have the house is going to be full of plants, and I'm going to be worried that I've got nowhere to put them out. So, and that's the thing. We all get excited as gardeners and think, "Oh, just chuck those seeds in; they'll be okay." And then they grow and grow and grow, and then you can't put them out because you're just going to kill them off. You're going to knock them off with the frost, and you need to just get that timing right. And as much as you do think you can get it right, you won't. Okay, I'll answer this one. So I got the same solar watering system that you got last season. How have you found it? Thanks, Sam. Personally, myself, I loved it. I didn't water my tomatoes once. I'm guessing you're on about the watering system I've got in the greenhouse, and yeah, it worked. I didn't water once. I did, however, have to drain it off, pop it in the shed now for winter because you don't want it to freeze and all the mechanisms breaking stuff. But I thought it was amazing, and I want to get another one for the Polytunnel. So Malcolm's just informed me that it's snowing outside in the valley. So I'm sure it is. Nicola Cornish Heron. Oh, lovely to see you on the channel again, Nicola. Growing anything new to you? Yes, I am. I'm growing. Let me have a look if I've got it here. So I think I have. So I'm gonna try these because I wanna grow paprika. So I spoke to Audrey, and I was just like, I really want paprika, and she was like, I've got the amazing one for you to try. So it's this one here, and I'm gonna grow paprika, and then I'm gonna dry them out, and then I'm gonna have hopefully fresh paprika the end of the season. But yeah, going back to that other thing as well, Samantha, I thought it was amazing, the watering system. And that's the thing that I want to talk about. It's like if I do mention a brand or something on my channel, it's always because I've already tried it or I'm passionate about it. Like I'll invest a lot of time in looking at what they've got. Like I've been showing on my Instagram those bee bricks and things. It's because I'm really, really passionate about having nature and wildlife into my plot as well. And I've even got like a video planned of building a bat box because we got so many bats flying around my plot, and they've never, been any problem for me, and they keep the flies down and things. So yeah, let's have a look. I wonder if you could use solar panels to heat a. I wonder if you could use solar panels to heat a propagator. I've never really thought about it, but the amount of that I've got, you think I would? I need a money tree. If anyone could invent that, it would be Steve Digwell. He's probably got some plans or something. I'm trying to catch. How is your Alan's allotment? How is your overwintering aubergine doing? Oh, Alan, I would like to tell you, but we've got a competition going on, and no, it's not going well at all. Yeah, amazing, Tony. Yeah, they'd be great for pest control. So yeah, I've got like a bat. I was looking at buying a bat box because I keep seeing all these bats flying around and whatnot. But the issue I've got is that time. I want to build one, and I want it to be perfect for what I want. Yeah, Tony just said now they'd be really power hungry for the propagators. So that's the thing about them, is that we all think that we want to have these propagators and start things off early. But my advice is this year, be sensible, because there's no point you growing a pepper plant and you grow all the way to season and it costs you about 50, 60, 70 quid to grow a few peppers. And don't get me wrong, I know the flavor's there, but you need to kind of judge that as well, about the price and stuff as well. Now, there are a few things I've got to list you, and I've not done half of them. Half of what I was going to try. Oh, so I need to talk about this as well before we. So if you are interested in doing the Swede challenge this year, so Jane Kelly and Jim Contrabecchi of the Lake Effect Gardener and Jane's Growing Garden, it used to be Jane's Allotment, they for the last 2 years they did the What did they do? Oh, they did the melon challenge, the transatlantic melon challenge. And I always felt it was a bit biased because the other people always had that heat. And I joked once saying, let's do a Swede challenge. So if anyone wants to do a Swede challenge, start sowing, your Swede seeds accordingly. But by the end of the year, there's going to be a challenge to see who does. Jane says rhodobaga or Swede, either or. They're both the same thing, Jane. So, can I submit a Swede I have growing now? Growing pot. You can show me that Swede if you want, and then that might be inspiration. God, so can't grow Swede. Amelia, try though. I want to see people trying new and inventive ways of trying to get that Swede to harvest in the area. And it's going to be a challenge for some. Like even we sometimes have problems with it, but I'm going to try and grow the biggest Swede ever. And I want you lot to try and get included. I'll mention it in a future video, but we will be doing a transatlantic Swede challenge this year. So get some seeds in now. Start buying some and ordering the ones that you want. So yeah, I've done some Swedes and they've been beautiful. So I'll do the Swede challenge with you, Danny. Yeah, get involved. Let's all get involved in the Swede challenge this year. It's a bit of fun, and I know Malcolm does. Malcolm, funny enough, I was going to text you later on actually about the Swede challenge. So I know you'll be invited because you do like a bit of friendly competition. And plus, we've got that cold snap, so ours will be amazing. But there's someone at my plot. I'm not even joking you. This Swede is like this. It's probably woody, and that doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be about the fact that you can eat it. Grow when it's about the size. So, yeah. So Tony wrote big sweet, but it is size. It is size over beauty. Yeah, don't matter if it's an ugly Swede. Is the fact that whoever gets the heaviest Swede or the biggest Swede will be the winner at the end. And yeah, it'll be a bit of fun. And that's what I like about doing YouTube is that we get in the viewers interacted as well. And we'll set up something as well. So, Danny, what is the advantage of having the sturgeons on your plot or in your garden? And that's the thing, like, again, I've done both and I like doing both, but I'm always going to stick to doing them at the plot, I think. And I normally have them at the bottom. So there is advantage to doing both. But the problem is, I'm getting distracted by everything now. The Swede I want is 5'10". So Dan Rabbit said the Swede is 5'10" and blonde and curvy. Not those type of Swedes. Yeah, so there are advantages to both of those sturgeons, but yeah, I'm keeping mine to my plot, I think. That's really nice of you. Growing plotty wrote, I'll send you some if you like, Mel. I plenty. Growing plotty, love that. I'm trying to answer so many questions. So yeah, Swede challenge is on. Right, am I at the end of this chat? Because I feel like I've done pretty well catching up with this. I put a pic. Liz, let's have a look. Liz Hodge wrote, I put a pic on James Payne. Ali reckons I am competition for you, Danny. Liz, bring it on, babe. Bring it on. And the sturgeons went nuts this autumn. Let's have a look. The sturgeons went nuts this autumn. They were glorious. They're gorgeous in salads. So I grow them mainly because I like the look of them. My chickens absolutely love them. They're more of an autumn snack for them when I pull them out. And they do seed quite a bit. So I do like them at the plot, and I grew them at the back of the plot and the front of the plot, like I said. But I'm not even answering that one, Steve. Yeah, and the good thing about them is that I had all the flies go into them, all the black fly, and grow them quite close to your runner beans, and you'll notice that. Oh yeah, and yeah. So basically, they'll just be good for they're sacrificial plants to me. Helena Sweet was recommending me, and that's what I'm growing. Yeah, I recommend Helena to everyone. I love best of all in Helena. Helena's my favorite Swede, and you'll see him all the time. Steve Digwell, I have never grown a pomegranate, but if you want to try and do one on your channel, I'm happy to do one. But I would probably ask Alan's allotment because I'm pretty sure he's got. Oh, there he is now. He's got a pomegranate tree. Yeah, thanks. Uh, oh, we're going through this. So so tomatoes and peppers. So another thing that's going to change on my channel is I am not going to be doing any more cherry tomatoes. I'm going to be growing mainly some salad tomatoes for obviously salads, and the rest of it will be big chunky tomatoes like the one that the orange accordion, and things like, as we all know, I did the Heinz 1350 variation, and that was absolutely amazing. This was one of the most beautiful tomatoes I've ever seen, and I'm growing more for canning. So as much as I liked having all those tomatoes, I want fleshy, chunky tomatoes. So I'm kind of skipping a lot of the things that I grew this year, because I've learned that I need to have a purpose for them, rather than I'm happy to give a lot away, and I probably give like 60% of my plot away to people who I work with and family and friends and other plot neighbors. But I need to be mindful that I want to be canning a lot more as well. And I'm thinking about doing a video about that next year. I planned on doing it this year, but it was just a crazy nuts year. But yeah, loads of things have changed on the plot in the last couple of weeks that I need to show you. So there is a new blue tip box up on the side of the shed, and that's made out of like concrete, and you can build around them. So I'll show you that on the plot as well. They are also by that company that I was talking about, the bee bricks and stuff. So let me try and take that. I need to be preserving as much as possible. Yeah, absolutely. Like, I can a lot of things and in little jars and stuff. And the Bologneses I've got now, weirdly, they're still from 2000 and the end of 2021. So I'm still using them. There's oh my god, this chat honestly is going straight through. So thanks so much. I'm overwhelmed that so many people are watching. So yeah, I predicting that the weather for the summer is going to be hotter again. So I'm planning on trying to mulch more than I did before. I've still got all that manure that's been rotted down. I hope it's as good as Malcolm King's was. It's not going to be as like, he is the king of manure compost, I think, and because he grows so much of it. But oh, did I freeze? Oh, you probably missed the most interesting part of the live then. No, I'm not sure what I said. Sorry if I all froze. Am I back? Okay, so can you all see me? Like, let me know if you can see me or whatever, because some reason I might have frozen or something. Oh, it's all good now. Oh, Tony said I'm hoping for a new delivery of manure this week. Yeah, Tony. Oh, nobody knows compost like Tony. Honest to God, have you heard about the lime and the eggs to preserve them? No, I haven't actually, but I'll look into that, because there are that I've never done it, but I have read about it, and I want to really get into the preserving my eggs and stuff, because I'm always baking and giving them away, and people are happy about it, but it's not. Steve Diggle said the best part of the live was the freezing. This chat is going crazy, so I'm trying my hardest. Um, uh, 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 I made my own strawberry jam and marmalade this year. I'm off now. Thanks, Danny. Off the potty mouth. Yeah, bye. Thank you. Hubby has a lead-lined stomach, so I'm growing hot peppers for him. My favourite sort is the cilantro lime hot sauce with pasta. Oh, that sounds amazing. Yeah, I freeze eggs. Oh, I know. I've read about the freezing of eggs thing as well. So I'm trying to preserve a lot as much as, and this year alone, I'm going to be really spending a lot of time studying about how to preserve more of my plot, because I give so much away, and I'm happy to do that, but I'm giving too much away that I'm having to purchase things again later on the season. Again, like my potatoes, I'm going to be just growing Charlottes this year. They store really well in the buckets, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut out a few of the others that don't store as well. So Jane wrote, "Oh, do you make marmalade? Nothing like homemade." So I make the most amazing. I make the most amazing apple, pear, and fig jam. So I'll put that recipe up as well in when I start, making it next year. And it's absolutely amazing. You wouldn't believe, to put those three things together, and the jam is so sticky and it's so sweet. It's absolutely amazing. Um, yeah, so I think that's everything that we've really needed to cover today. So I would just like to say, I'm sure you've all enjoyed this. Have you tried rhubarb jam? I'd like to try this year. I don't like rhubarb, but I know a lot of people do. Need to go now, Danny. Yep. Yeah, thanks so much, Alan, for coming and watch the live. And I could stay here all night, but I'd just like to say thank you so much for everyone who's joined tonight. And I'm shocked how many people have stayed on. And I think I've covered all the questions that I was going to talk about. And I promise you, there will be a video on Sunday. And I hope you all enjoy it. And I hope you all had a lovely Christmas and a new year. So take care. And I thank you all for joining me. And I'll see you all again soon.